53rd verse, I finished 2 paragraphs. Ramak. Read Ramak.
Uh, we are done up to honor and fame.
Fame, yeah.
Oh.
Now once you read,
Not to
we'll again take synopsis once, right? Read only one paragraph. Hmm. Not to me.
I'll start from Dharma, na?
No, not to me.
Okay.
Ah,
Not to make use of the evolutionary chances provided by life is to reject and refuse the chances provided for a vasana catharsis. By not exhausting the old vasanas, one will be living under a high vasana pressure when the existing tendencies are crowded out by the influx of new tendencies. Not fighting the war, Arjuna may run away from the field, but he will certainly come to regret his lost chances, since his mind is so composed that he can find complete relief and solace only by living the intensely dangerous life of the battlefield. A boy with tendencies for art cannot be successfully trained to become a businessman or an economist, since these are contrary to his nature. If an over-anxious parent in the name of love projects upon a growing child his own intentions and plans, we invariably find that the young boy will have a crushed personality.
yes. Hey, what we discussed last time was, but if you will not find a righteous war, then having abandoned your own beauty and fame, we shall incur sin. It's ऐसा है, when a teacher is there and teacher scolds a student, what does he tell him? If you don't study and get good marks, you'll become rickshaw wala. You'll become a hawker. So with that fear, that small child is saying, I don't want to become, I want a good person. So then he goes on studying and achieves whatever. He comes in the merit or achieves his success. Similarly, here is Krishna is threatening him with what? See, what is the for a kshatriya or for majority of the people? What is their weak point or the strongest point? Their name. No one wants to spoil his name. है ना? Name is very important, and till now Arjuna's record is there that he has not lost even one battle. है ना? He's become he's victorious in all his battles, in all his wars. And now, if by chance he withdraws himself from the battlefield, what will happen? Krishna is giving him a warning in a subtle way that if you come out of this and if you don't fight, whatever your name you have earned for so many years. At that time, he was 78 years old, and Krishna was 82 years old. If you in case if you lose your name, your fame, your name, whatever you have earned in this life, then what will happen? Whatever you have done up till now, that will go waste. है ना? So therefore, what is your duty now? To मेरा जरा आवाज खराब है. Just bear with me. What is your duty now to follow your dharma swadharma? As a kshatriya, my swadharma is to fight for the righteous cause. Now Arjuna was doing exactly the same thing unless and until the negative thoughts and emotions took over it. So in order to bring back Arjuna on the track, Krishna is trying various methods by not hurting him, but telling him to be on the right path, to fight that is. Now what Gurudev says here is, the vasanas of a kshatriya is to fight. And to, in some way or the other, if you are suppressing them without sublimation or understanding, then what will happen? Those vasanas will be creating a personality crisis in you. Example, he has given there, but I will just still tell you. A boy with a tendency to be a artist, a singer, or a musician, if his parents forcefully tell him to take up to engineering, to medicine, to any other course which is against his wish, he might do it, but he will not be happy in it. He can do it. It's not that he will not do it, but he will not get the satisfaction. I know many people who were working. For example, is Pandit Jasraj, if I can give you the known personalities. But still, there are many people who, till the age of 55, 56, they worked. But they were so much passionate for music and singing or playing. They after the retirement took voluntary retirement and then took up to that passion. Then they rose to enormous heights. It is that way. I can't suppress my own swadharma or my own vasanas unnecessarily. And there here Krishna is telling him, not fighting the war, Arjuna may run away from the field, but certainly come to regret his own chances. How many? Just think over our life, every one of you, and tell me how many of us regret about our whatever we have done. Tell me. Each one of us have some point or the other in our life that we regret. Array, if I had studied that time, I would. This would not be my position. Example. If only I had played, if only I had done my exercise at the right time, I would have had a healthy body. And so doing the right thing at the right time is very important in life. Therefore, day in and day out, group after group, I am trying to stress the point that this is your age in which you are still young, not yet entered the vanaprastha or the old age. Now is the time to do your sadhana. If now with a healthy body, with the conducive atmosphere, you cannot do your sadhana, then to think that after the age of 60 I will do it, it will be foolishness. Now is the right time. उसको मुहूर्त नहीं है. When should I start my japa today? Should I start becoming a good person today? When should I drop off my all negative tendencies which are taking me away from the Lord today, not tomorrow? If that is fixed in your mind, then whatever the sadharma is there, some of grahastha ashrama for all of us, that can be easily accomplished. You know? Therefore, he's saying if an over-anxious parent in the name of love projects upon a growing child his own intentions and plans, we invariably find that a young boy will have a crushed personality. So tragic, no? Apply in India, this is a curse. We go after marks and not after remarks. Why do you want to lay such importance on your marks? What difference does it make if a person is getting 88, 96%, and a person who is 60 scoring 60, 65%? He can be a good person, no? But then right from childhood, especially the mothers, I'm trying to tell you all, don't force a child to unnecessarily excel in this class. Let them study, let them get the knowledge. But then dirty competition is not expected. I think now they are not giving marks. No, now they are going to give, promoting everyone until 8th standard. I don't know. I'm not aware. There are exams. Vaibhavi? There are exams. Parishas chalta hai.
Exams are there. I think they are giving grades now.
Exams are there. They gives
हाँ.
grade.
But
Grading systems are there.
they are promoting everybody,
They
no?
are promoted. Yes, they are promoted.
हाँ हाँ.
Yes.
वो तो क्या वो भी गलत है लेकिन अभी ठीक है. Whatever is there, accepted. But then after they are educated. I mean, what are the standard 8th, 9th standard? If you go on pursue, let them come out with their own liking. त्यांचं स्वतःचं काय आवड आहे. Sometimes, okay, I will take your side also. Sometimes children are confused. They don't know which side to take. At that time, you can guide them. These are the three options. If you go take up to engineering, you'll have to go in such a path. If you take commerce, you have to pursue chartered accounting or company secretary or whatever it is in this path. If you take up to law, this will be the phase. If you take up to arts, this will be the course. So you can tell that, and then after that, let them think and choose, select. But there are some children. I know my friend's son, for example, his uncle was from IIT. He passed on right from the age of 5. That guy's that for friend's son, he started studying for IIT, right from standard. Well, I want to become like my uncle. I have to get admission in IIT, and he got it eventually. He scored 99%, 98% in what, some JE or something, and he got in IIT. But that what pursuance or that thing is very rare in persons. And then who is a successful person? I'll tell you. We had one workshop long back in Mumbai, and that time one lady was there. She was taking a workshop on what is your goal of your life, and who what. Then was everyone wrote. We had to write it down. What is the short term goal and what is the long term goal? So then we all gave. So our short-term goal is that we were BSc to score a good percentage in our exams, or to be a good musician, or to sing properly, or to play cricket nice and come in this college team. Everyone wrote whatever they wanted. We were all in the same age group. But then in that age group in Mumbai, where the Gurudev was conducting the camp, in that there was one Parsi girl. Her short-term goal, what did she say? What did she say? Her short-term goal. There were series of questions. I'm just being put into. There was like, after 3 months, if you're going to die, what will be your goal? After 6 months, if you're going to die, what will be your goal? After 8 days, you're going to go, what will be your goal? So that varied. So after 6 months, if I'm going to die, I'll do my sadhana and reach the highest. That was that answer. If I'm going to get die after 3 months, I'll see that I do my sadhana more rigorously. That was time after. But this girl answered in such a way. She said, "I want to become a best cameraman, photographer." That was her long-term goal. Then what is the short-term goal? To pursue all the possibilities of becoming a good photographer. Then what will do after 6 months? She said, I will go all over the world and start clicking such pictures that it will be masterpieces. What will you do after, if you have 3 days only to in your life? She says, I will in some way or other, I will click such a beautiful picture of the nature, or what she wants to say, and that will be remembered not by, that will be remembered for ages. So that concurrence of what, the short term goal, long term goal has to go hand in hand. अपना ऐसे haphazard, it should not be haphazard way. My long term goal is something else. Short term goal is doing something else. That will not work. So even if you are a grahasi now, this was the lesson to given to the children, and that you can also put to your child that if you want to see short term goal and what is long term goal, that should both go in hand in hand. That you can do for us especially. What is a long term goal? To be a better person, right? To progress, to fulfill the purpose of life for which we have been born. Just going haphazardly, just whiling away the time, that will not do. So if that is the case, then how much time I should devote to my self-study, nididhyasana, swadhyaya? How much time I should devote? How much time should I entertain, unwanted thoughts? For entertainment is okay once in a while, but continuously being, addict to that is a curse. And whatever is that, I should try to come out of it and pursue my Swadharma. And that is the exactly thing Krishna is telling Arjuna. You are right from your childhood. Your long term goal was to become a victorious person and not to be defeated by anybody. And now you have got the chance to wanted to achieve your long term goal, and that particular time, your negative thoughts are coming in your mind. It happens to us also, no? So many times it happens, isn't it? To go this way or that way. If you are a human being, you will always have these questions. हे करू का ते करू, काय करू, what should I do? होतं ना? So many times it happens. And at that time, our Gurudev used to tell us, that you think for 10,000 times. 10,000 times things. So go on thinking, and then arrive to a conclusion. But once you have come to the conclusion, don't look back. Then pursue it. With Jan Jaya Jalvi Khai. I will pursue it whatever happens. Then no looking back, and no repenting and no regretting what you're saying. There should no, there will be not a sign of regret. अरे क्यों किया? खलास. This is my thought. I have decided that I have given this particular point the utmost importance in my mm, life. So I'll pursue it whatever may come. है ना? For example, I took up to law, and then after taking law, initially it was a very cruel, troublesome future for me. ना, it is not that easy. So then I एक गंदे महाराज करके थे उनको उनके पास आए तो I asked him. महाराज म्हटलं मला वकिली करतोय पण त्याच्या मला आनंद मिळत नाही म्हणजे आता काय करू मला दुसरं काहीतरी करायचं म्हणजे वकील साहेब व्हॉट द आन्सर इज वकील साहेब हा तुम्ही आधी विचार करायला पाहिजे होता आता तुम्ही नदीच्या मध्यापर्यंत पोहत आलाय यू कम टू रिच आता परत मागे कसं जाणार आता तुम्हाला पोहत पोहत पुढे जायला लागेल I have reached the center of where my life where I can't go back now. I have to go forward only. पण त्याच्यात तुम्हाला असं उपाय करतील की ते बिचारे काय तिथे राहतात आणि दे आर हॅपी विथ देअर ओन थिंग आपलंच विकेंड होऊन असतं वन आय हॅव गॉट वन विकेंड होम एट महाबळेश्वर वन एट लोणावाला where are you going to stay and how much place you are going to occupy the same space 8 by 6 by 3 on that bed किती कटपट करतो we I before go to next only one thing I think we काय म्हणतात we waste energy for unwanted things आपली जी एनर्जी आहे ना नको त्या गोष्टीत इतकी घालतो ना ज्या पाहिजे तिथे घालत नाही साधनेत घाल ना ट्राय टू फोकस ऑन माइंड ना मेडिटेट ना I'll tell you easiest way. I just heard from somebody and I tried it out. Just try it out. It take hardly 1 minute. Okay. Close your eyes, all of you. 1 minute. Only 1 minute. Huh? And now, don't move your eyeballs and don't move your tongue. And just sit straight. Eyeballs are not to be moved and tongue is so not to be moved. Bas. With a fraction of a moment, doesn't your mind become thoughtless? आला का विचार काय? See, so easy techniques are there, but we don't try it on. When you sit on the seat of meditation, try see if you are having thoughts now, your eyeballs will move, your tongue will move. But when you go in a thoughtless state, when the no thoughts are coming, that time both will be steady. It is simple. Acha, before I forget, one thing before I should have done it earlier, but I just it slipped off my mind. Vageshwari's mother passed away last week. So before we conclude, we'll chant 11 times Trembakam and a small prayer, okay? And Danika was so active in Chinmay Mission, right from childhood used to see her. She was the principal of RCM, also vice principal of RCM. She worked there, and she was in contact with all the right from Gurudev with all Swamijis, and a very sincere worker right up till then. You know?
How old was she? How old was she?
It is 87.
She stayed in Pune or with Vageshwari?
No, she was in Pune with her son, Vageshwari's brother.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, last all of us met on 8th May. 8th May. Pure soul. And she used to go on chanting what is that, Guru Stotra, all her Stotra every day. She had a sort of dementia, but this she didn't forget. All Stotras and everything she used to chant continuously, and continuously her Japa and Namasmara used to go on. Such a pious soul.
Her summer camps,
Yeah.
this thing and all, no? Yeah. Ek,
Yeah.
don, teen, char, Ganpaticha, Jai
And
Jaikar and all, we learnt over there.
I remember how she used to fire you all.
Yes.
She was very strict. Yeah.
Yeah,
We should
yeah,
go to
yeah,
their
मुझे
house,
लगता है
their
yeah.
इन्होंने
city.
ज्यादा कार्तिक और रवि को पकड़ते थे सब.
That was in the camp, but after that,
Yeah,
she has always been a very Mayalu
yeah, yeah,
soul
yeah, yeah.
wherever she
Very,
met
very.
us.
Yes.
That
Yeah,
as
yeah.
as children, she has always scolded
Yeah,
us in camps
yeah.
and
She
all.
has she had that teacher
Teacher wala
DNA.
attitude, yeah. But after that, whenever she has met us, she's only hugged us and been very.
Yeah,
And she had
yeah,
told, I think, last Vishnu Sahasranam, she said, "Ki मी अथर्वशीर्ष ठेवीन घरी, तुम्ही सगळे या."
oh,
योगेंद्रच्या घरी ठेवीन म्हणून.
oh,
It was in that hall, no, where we had all
yeah.
met. You remember, sir? इसके पहला वाला विष्णु सहस्त्रनाम जब हमने किया था. So
Ah,
at that
ah,
time she had come with Yogendra Dada and I met Yogendra Dada last then only. उसके बाद
ah.
एंड
Mm,
3rd अगस्त को भी नहीं मिली थी मैं उनको. थर्ड नहीं था, हाँ, तो 8th मई को भी नहीं मिली थी उसके बाद. बट दॅट टाइम शी सेड या वर्षी किंवा मी सांगते तुम्हाला अथर्वशीर्ष ठेवीन तर या तुम्ही सगळे म्हणून.
didn't happen anyway. काय करणार? Everyone has to go through. I mean, that's the thing, ना? हे सगळ्यांना त्याचं जायला लागतं. काय त्याच्यात सुटका नाही. But then what happens is such good people when they go, you feel for them. And Chinmay Mission, she had done so much for Chinmay Mission that a lot of yajnas, balvyars, she was instrumental in many good things. Let us pray for. We'll pray at end for her
उनका सर वो
sadgati.
आनंदवन में एक फेमस डायलॉग था,
अरे
म्हातारपण आणि मी एकत्रच जाणार. वो बोलते थे उसमें. हाँ.
बच्चे अच्छे क्या करेंगे. Come to our point. Continue, Ramakant. Examples of this type.
Examples of this type are seen everywhere in the world, especially so in the spiritual field. There are many seekers with over enthusiasm for spiritual development who, at the mere appearance of a misery or at the threat of a sorrow, decide to run away into the jungle seeking God. And they invariably end in a lifelong tragic disaster. They have in them senses vasanas which can be satisfied only in the embrace of a family under the roof of their own tenement. But rejecting them all, they reach the Himalayan caves, and then all the day through they can neither meditate upon the Lord nor find a field for sensuous enjoyment. Naturally, they entertain more and more agitations in their mind, otherwise called sin, that is papa. Sin in Hinduism is a mistake of the mind in which it acts contrary to its essential nature as the self. Any act of sensuousness which the mind pants for in the world of objects, hoping to get thereby a joy and satisfaction, creates necessarily within itself more and more agitations. And this type of a mistake of the mind is called a sin.
Now it comes to us. We think it was meant for somebody else. Now Gurudev comes to us. It says, examples of these types are seen everywhere in the world, especially so in the spiritual world. There are many seekers. See, even for us, in the first, when you are initially in this field of adhyatma or spirituality, you want to do a lot of things. I'll do 100 times Hanuman Chalisa, I will do Parayan, I will do this and I will do that. Everything you want to do, right? And then in that fit, you do whatever you want. And then suddenly what happens? उसका तो उत्साह निकल जाता है. Gurudev used to give an example. He said there was a brahmachari in a brahmachari course who was a dynamic brahmachari, and we thought he would reach glories, heights with his oratory, because he was dynamic at that time. And there was one more brahmachari who was a quiet person, ठीक है. But then what happened that the brahmachari was a quiet person, he pursued his meditation sadhana regularly. After 3-4 years, he became a dynamic worker. And this other person had all the qualities, but because of his laziness, because of his, not focusing onto the goal, he lost it. I say, slow and steady wins the race, na. Always remember, you go on doing it, बनते बनते बन जाएगा. अभी क्या अभी कुछ मिलने वाला नहीं है. मुझे अभी क्या you see, you will get a peace of mind, everything will get. But then the realization will only be with the key lies with the Lord and the Guru. उनके हाथ में है तब तक करते बैठने का ना. What is the harm? What is our exercise? To be more purer and purer in our heart. Right? Now in this cosmos, in this world, there are so many wrong things going on. Do you mean to say you should neglect it, not pay attention to it? It comes. You get agitated. It's not that we are human beings, so both the emotions will be there. But I should be able to remember what to give importance to, and will that thought or emotion take me nearer to my Lord. In Jnana Marga, if you are pursuing Jnana Marga on the path of knowledge, you near to that consciousness. What definition of sin is? The moment you forget your own self, that is a sin. स्वतःच्या स्वरूपाचं विस्मरण झालं ह्यालाच पाप म्हटलेलं आहे. What else is sin? And in that, why? Because once you forget your own nature, where do you come? See, we are. If you can bring the chart in front of you, try to bring it. First is what? Om. Then becomes V. Then BMI, OET, PFT. Right? And now from that Om, when do you come to that stage of vasanas? When that ego erupts. ज्यावेळेला अहंकाराचं उत्पत्ती होते त्यावेळेला ते वासना ते ओम पासून आपण पदुच्छेतून खाली येतो. We are devoted from the Om, right? And similarly, therefore, understand that whenever these thoughts of self gratifications and self sensuous thoughts come in your mind, you are getting away from the Lord. That consciousness, and then that I should try to prevent by my own swadharma, by doing my own duties, by concentrating more on my day-to-day things, so that unwanted desires and unwanted thoughts will not enter my mind. आता ज्या वेळेला तुम्ही गृहिणी म्हणून वैभवी तुम्ही सगळं मुलांचं करता, आंघोळ घालणं किंवा काय, आता माहित नाही मला मुलं किती मोठी आहेत, बाकी सगळं करणं, शाळेत पोहोचवणं, सगळं त्यांचा अभ्यास घेणं, त्यावेळेला इफ यू आर डुईंग इट विथ सेल्फलेसनेस, दॅट विल गिव्ह यू अ जॉय. पण असा जर विचार केला की आता माझी मोठं मुलं झाली ना की मला माझी मग काळजी घेतील म्हातारपणी, म्हणून मी त्यांचं चांगलं भवितव्य म्हणून मी करते. मग जर थोडं जरी इफ द चिल्ड्रन बिकम बिग अँड इफ यू स्टार्ट निग्लेक्टिंग यू फील सो सॅड. नो, मग दुःख खूप होतं की मी माझ्या मुलांसाठी मी एवढं सगळं त्याग केला आणि त्यांनी मला काहीच केलं नाही आणि काय बघत पण नाही, असं होतं. आय डिड सो मच फॉर माय चिल्ड्रन, नाउ द चिल्ड्रन आर नॉट लुकिंग आफ्टर मी एट ऑल. इट इज देअर नेचर. दिस इज द वर्ल्ड. Therefore, whenever you do your duty with and responsibility come with a pinch of selflessness, non-attachment. किंवा माझं कर्तव्य म्हणून केलं, संपलं, ते देअर एंड्स द मॅटर. मला त्याच्यातनं त्या वेळेला आनंद मिळाला. लहान मुलं जेव्हा होते त्यांना मी खायला जेवत होते, त्यांना चालायला शिकवलं, ते हसत होते, बोलत होते, शिकवलं, त्याच्यात मला आनंद मिळाला. बस तेवढंच आहे. कारण आई किंवा वडील म्हणून माझं कर्तव्य तेवढंच होतं. फिनिश. Again and again, I tell you all in every group that an iota of expectation is like an iota of potassium cyanide. 0.001 milligram जरी तोंडात गेली की you'll die. Similarly, even iota of expectation is there. Whatever your deeds will be the most noble deeds, but you will not get satisfaction out of it. Suppose I am a pracharak or a teacher, and I say a lot of crowd in front of you, and then what I'll try with my oratory, I'll try to impress you, and then look at your reactions. See, everyone has got impressed, and then I feel happy. And then if sometimes if they don't give the reaction which you expect, then you'll say, "Arey, kya hai?" But instead of that, whatever suits me best and whatever is given the scriptures as to the best of my capacity, I try to explain it. Then that explanation itself will give me joy. नंतर मला काय मिळणार नाही, मी काय म्हणतो त्यात मला आनंद मिळेल. लक्षात. While doing your duty at home as a grahastha, as whatever you are going, whatever in office, when you are doing your duty, in that duty itself you should get joy. मी काम का करतो ह्याच्यात छान सांगितलंय तुलसीरामायणमध्ये, आमच्या माणूस मध्ये स्वांत सुख आहे तुलसीदास म्हटलं. मी रामायण काय लोकांसाठी लिहित नाही, माझ्या स्वांत स्वतःच्या सुखासाठी लिहितोय. आणि मग त्याच्यात जर तुम्हाला आवडलं तर आनंदच आहे. टू लाईक इन दॅट इट्स ओके. Hmm? So for seeking God in running away into jungles with the sensuous desires will give you will lead you to a disaster. He says. याचा अर्थ आता मी आता तुम्हाला प्रश्न विचारता मी खूप बोललो ना थोडा विचारतो प्रश्न तुम्हाला की when what does it mean that if you are having vasanas borrowed or original then does it mean that first you should sublimate or remove the vasanas and then take up to the spiritual then take up to your sadhana or sadhana बरोबर जप meditation does that mean that then did you follow the question? No?
So can you repeat?
Again, I'll repeat the question. You have got borrowed vasanas and you have got original vasanas, which are there from the birth. If what does this mean? What this paragraph mean? That first you should negate your or sublimate your vasanas or remove the vasanas, and then come take up the spiritual sadhana like japa meditation.
We can never get rid of our vasanas, but we can try to exhaust them by doing our uh, daily like duties or swadharma, and then it'll exhaust, and then we can replace it, or it'll we can go
Yeah,
towards that. Yeah,
okay, but
the
see
spiritual
what
path.
other question I'm repeating. If you in this process of negating or the sublimating of vasanas, I let this thing happen, and after happening of this, then I'll go to take up to the sadhana.
साधना
The
करता
joy
करता
is in the
बाय
journey, I
प्रोडक्ट
think.
एक दोघं नका हां
साधना
Sorry.
करता करताच वासना एक्झॉस्शन हे बाय
हां
प्रोडक्ट होऊन जातं. साधना ही आधी सुरू करायची. वासना आपोआप आपोआप जातील किंवा आपलं ज्ञान वाढल्याने आपण त्या काढून टाकू शकू किंवा ते जातील असं मला वाटतं.
बाकी कोणी
My
काय
point is also same. Uh, while we are on this spiritual path, I think gradually, as I actually said, byproduct, but gradually these vasanas will go by uh, one by one. I won't say completely it will be negating, but at least the proportion will definitely reduce. In fact, it is reducing. At least for me, it is reducing.
very
So it's
anyone
like
else?
parallelly, not something like pehle vasanas ko negate kare and then on the path.
Okay, yeah.
The first is spiritual path.
Chaitanya, you are on the both on the same time. Okay, anybody else?
So even I feel the same because just like coffee beans, we roast it and then it doesn't sprout further. So in the same way, our sadhana helps us roast our vasanas so that it doesn't sprout further and fructify. So that those vasanas, if at all we have, in spite of doing our sadhana, is there, those things get roasted and the bad vasanas get converted into good ones. So
Very very good, very very nice answer. Anyone else? Let it come out of you so that thought becomes yours. I can give you answer, but then you will not remember it. You didn't remember my question. Okay. And then Anu, Ravi, anybody? I'll Shabas.
मैं एक
Third time,
करेक्ट
third time
करेक्ट
I'm repeating.
हाँ क्या, ओह सॉरी सॉरी.
I'll repeat it now. Sir. What did I say? That see what in this paragraph what Gurudev said that if you have got your sensuous vasanas or desires, and then if you start meditating upon Lord having them, then that will lead you to a disaster. So the simple question which I asked was, does that mean that first my duty is to negate my vasanas, sublimate all my borrowed and original vasanas, and then take up to sadhana, and then or first directly take up to sadhana? That's the question.
Can I think the sadhana should will take care of this, because if we wait for uh, one thing is I am not very confident in knowing that I'll be able to eliminate and sublimate my existing vasanas. So I feel if I start with my sadhana, the sadhana will, one is keep my mind occupied, keep it positive,
Mhm.
and in that process, maybe the ones which are not needed, the negative ones, will automatically stop dropping.
I automatically stop.
They'll start getting. I mean, they'll reduce, not completely
Okay, okay,
stop. They'll reduce.
okay, okay. Anybody else?
If you try to exhaust vasanas, maybe they can increase also. Or if you try to negate vasanas, they may spring back sometime. So
But
in
that
both
is
the cases, I
that's
think
it.
if you
No,
start,
no, that Ramakant, that is suppression. Suppression is not
uh,
advised. And suppression is like a spring. If you suppress the vasanas more and more, any day they can regenerate.
okay, so okay, you not suppression. Even if you try to exhaust them, they may not get exhausted, or they may increase also. So I think if you start doing sadhana, automatically your mind is more focused on the Lord, and this sadhana vasanas already start falling off.
Yeah, very good. You have come very near to my answer I was expecting. See, all our first are on the same page. Everyone is saying do sadhana, and side by side it happens. It's what everyone is right, huh? No one is wrong. It is just like that. If a boy is there in his teens and he starts loving a girl, प्रेमात पडलाय तो, त्यावेळेला कसं होतं त्याचं, ना अभ्यासाकडे लक्ष, ना आई वडिलांकडे लक्ष, ना कोणाकडे लक्ष, फोकस फक्त त्या मुलीकडेच असतं की ती मुलगी काय करते, what is she doing, when I can go and meet her, when I what does she like to eat, what does she like to wear, what is the color she loves. See, everything with respect to that girl, I'm just trying to tell you so that you can understand it clearly. Similarly, when we are on the path of spirituality, when I starting loving my Ishta Devata, and that love is so much like that love should be so intense as of the Gopikas. मग त्या ईश्वराबद्दल इतकं प्रेम वाटतं की बाहेरचं बाकी सगळं फालतू वाटतं. You start loving your इष्ट देवता, your the deity, तुमच्या देवावर इतकं प्रेम वाढतं, तर देवा मला तुझ्याशिवाय काय मत देन असं होतं की देवा मला तुझ्याशिवाय काही नको आहे, न लगे धनसंपदा, असं तुकाराम म्हटलं, धन लगे मुक्ती संपदा संत संग द्यायचं. आय वॉन्ट टू बी इन द कंपनी ऑफ दोज हू जस्ट प्रेज यू, ग्लोरिफाय यू. बाकी सगळ्यांचं तुम्हाला संतसंग पण नको, ज्याच्या ठाई तुझी प्रीती त्याची घडावी संगती म्हणून. ज्याच्या इतकं ते प्रेम वाढतंय की त्यामध्ये वाचना बिचना राहतच नाही.
It's a relatable example.
सॉरी,
I said relatable example.
रिलेटिव्ह एक्झाम्पल. हा, मग आणि तेच ना, तसंच होतं की गोपिकांना विचारलं, उद्धव आले तर उद्धव गीता म्हटलंय त्याच्यात की गोपिकांना विचारलं की बाबा रे, आता तुम्हाला कृष्णाला भेटायला जायचंय ना, त्यामुळे तुमचं आधी मन शुद्ध करा, ध्यान धारणा करणार, आणि मन इतकं शुद्ध करा की त्याच्यात मग ते म्हणलं आमच्याकडे एकच हे म्हटलं भ्रमर गीत म्हणून. देवर अलाउड, देवर दोसो देव इन दॅट, हे त्या अवस्थेत होते की त्या पुरुषांशी परपुरुषाशी बोलायचं तर कसं, म्हणून त्यांनी त्या भ्रमराशी बोलले, जे उद्धवाला सांगत होते ते भ्रमराशी बोलले. काय सांगितलं, पण आमच्याकडे एकच मन होतं, ते कृष्ण घेऊन गेला, तर दुसरं मन कुठे आहे आमच्याकडे, एक तो मन था, वो तो भगवान को लेके गया, दुसरा मन कहां से नाही, काय दुसरं मनच नाहीये. इतकी भक्ती त्यांची अतूट होती, आणि सो मच म्हणून विभक्त नव्हे तर भक्त म्हटलंय, who is not different from that Ishta Devata, from that Lord, is called devotee or भक्त. इतकी त्या सांगतो की म्हणून साधना पण अशी असावी, तुम्ही सगळे बरोबर सांगताय, पण आपलं उत्कटता एवढी असावी की त्या ईश्वरापुढे बाकी सगळं तुच्छ वाटायला लागतं रे. कुठलं काय घेऊन बसलंय, तुम्हाला पंचपक्वान 56 भोग असलेलं जर तुमच्या समोर ताट ठेवलं आणि त्याच्या बाजूला चटणी भाकरी ठेवली कोरडी, तुम्ही घाल का त्या मागे, आम्हाला आवडतं पण तुम्ही काहीतरी फालतू उत्तर देऊ नका. शक्यतो चूज द थिंग विच इज देअर डिलिशियस ना. तसंच आहे की ईश्वराबद्दल तर प्रेम एवढं वाढलं असतं, आणि ईश्वराबद्दल तर आनंद एवढा मिळतो की ईश्वराची भक्ती करताना, हे सांसारिक सुखाने तुच्छ वाटायला लागतात. काय फालतूगिरी आहे. सिनेमाला बसून 3 तास काय करायचं, उगीच आयुष्यातला वेळ घालायचा का. मग आमचे ते गारे काका म्हणून होते, त्यांना कॉलेजमध्ये असताना सांगितलं मागच्या वाटून काहीतरी कादंबरी घेऊन देतो सुहास शिरोडकरची रहस्य कथा. काय हो वकील साहेब, काय वाचताय, म्हटलं एका पुस्तक वाचतोय बघा म्हटलं. काय तुम्ही, आम्ही आध्यात्मिक कोणता समोर स्वतःने कसली फालतू कादंबरी वाचतो, आजपासून सगळं बंद करा वाचायचं, ईश्वराचं पुस्तक वाचा, देवाचं चरित्र वाचा, बाकीचं पुराण वाचा, वाचायचं बंद करा. बरोबर आहे ना. If your goal is to become a famous lawyer or the most prestigious lawyer in the country, you'll have to discard everything. Gurudev met one lawyer in Allahabad, and he told him, sir, Gurudev asked him, sir, I have to become like you. I want to become like you. He said, you can never can. His name was Menon at that time. You can never can. Balkrishna. So why? Says my enjoyment, my recreation, my passion, everything is law. 18 hours a day. I am in those books. I have never watched a movie for last 40 years. I have not read a newspaper. I have not. Only my full passion is towards law. Yes, Dhanlakshmi,
Sir, I have a question to ask.
ask me.
Uh, it's like the statement that you made, whether asana should be exhausted and then sadhana, some that in that context.
Hmm.
What if at times those vasanas overpower our identity, or somewhere in the due course there are certain circumstances or situation that these desires start overpowering us, and then we suddenly start losing the track of sadhana or the spiritual path.
See,
Then how do we continue?
sometimes it happens. Sometimes it happens. I agree, but never give up. इट हॅपन्स टू इच वन ऑफ अस. आता तुम्हाला मी आय एम तो इतकं ब्रह्मज्ञान सांगतोय, आता हे आपलं ग्रुप झाले की मला बातमी बघायचं, मी लगेच टीव्हीकडे जाणार बातमी बघायला. सी दोज vasanas are inherent in us. We can't suppress them. At that time, let it happen. But remember that this also is the difference between us and the layman is that I know this vasana is coming in us. Once you come to know that you have got some negativity, you're on some one step on progress in spiritual field. At least I'm
I
knowing
think
it that this is there. Realization.
it's a very
Yeah,
recent example I'm quoting for of my own self. The last
yeah,
month or
yeah.
last couple of months, where I was like just on and off, I could not attend the group, and it so happened I got carried away with the circumstances and situation, and then I understood. I started getting those intuition that somewhere something is going wrong. I'm not on track. My mind is not calm, or I'm not focused uh, on my spiritual path, or something is going wrong, really wrong. I took a pause. I started realizing, or again remembering those things what I learned through to, through this study group, and even the otherwise lesson that I have learned. So that pause really helped me out to realize, no, this is just a part and parcel of life. So it's not that every time you won't get good things. There are certain bad things, bad situation will come up. So just experience, accept, and move on.
Right.
That's the realization that I want.
Perfect. You're going right, partner. Once you come to realize this, realization of my folly is the first step towards progress. I at least come to know. Therefore, even if you see, there are two types of angers. One anger is you have no control over it, go and just smack your child.
Yeah.
And then the second type of anger is then we are knowing that if I see the child is going on the wrong path, I should at least नाटक तो करना चाहिए, मारने के उसको मार रहे. With that understanding. Understanding that anger is there, that is accepted. But the other anger which is in the fit of that calm, growth, low, more, mother, matsar, whatever you do it, that is in that fit of rage, if you do it, that is considered as a sin. Because by doing that, you are moving away from your true self. No, we just now discussed. What is a sin? When you forget your own true self, that is sin. When you forget yourself, what happens? You come on the state of your ego and egocentric desires. मी त्यावेळेला मला खूप महत्व देतो. आय गिव्ह utmost importance to only me, my vasanas, my family, my desires, my desire, what is that, fulfillment. फक्त मी, माझं नाव खराब व्हायला नको, मी म्हणजे कसे, मी म्हणजे अशी, हा हे सगळं यायला लागतं. आणि वेन मी कम्स दॅट टाइम ही गोस. म्हणून त्याने म्हटलं की प्रेम गल्याती साखरी तामे दोन समाय, एक मय या एक हरी दोन न रे पाय. एक तर हरी तरी राहील, एक तर मी तरी राहील. Your choice is yours. Whom to keep in your heart. Either him or my own desires, on me, ego.
And if we have to help others to follow this, I think the only way
काय
what
काय
I
गरज नाही. काय आय ब्लंटली टेल यू, आय एम सॉरी, पण कोणाचा उद्धार करायला कधी आयुष्यात जाऊ नका. नो नीड.
no, it's for my own child. I'm not asking for anybody else for my child. He's too young. He's just 6 years old. So what I understand, I have to follow. So maybe tomorrow he'll just copy me and follow. So
हा,
now he's too
that that
young. I'm not
that's
preaching anywhere, sir.
नाही
It's
नाही,
for
काय गरज
my child.
नाही, गरज नाही का, काय देयर इज नो नेसेसिटी. अँड नो वन लिसन्स. कोण ऐकतंय? हू लिसन्स टू मी? आपण
Sir,
आपल्या
everywhere
पद्धतीने.
I only get ki your child doesn't listen. He is not listen.
नाही नाही, and नाही, I'll tell you what, the best way to for parent, if you can find a book in our this thing, no, Chinmay Mission, you are staying in Loga, Maul, you'll get it. There's one book of Swami Tejavananda known as Parenting. Beautiful book,
Acha. Hmm.
in which there are stepwise given how to take care of a child. And then one more that important point written in that is that the child copies what the parents do. If the
Yes.
child is on the bad path, take it for guaranteed that the parents, mother and father, are behaving that way.
Hmm.
He has no other exposure. No,
Hmm.
the only exposure that the poor child is that his mother and father. Then he starts speaking like, or his grandparents if they are there. If he were, then he starts if as a pastime to take a stick and walk like his grandfather, bending.
I'm sorry if I'm like diverting you. I mean, others
No, no,
also.
no.
It's not always
So
like
I would
father and mother, right? So that the other so, part of the society as well, the school, friends,
yeah,
some other
everywhere.
people are all. I mean, there is the influence of other people as well. So
All
it's not
the
always
no,
father.
but then in that case, I should be able to bring up my child in such a way that the ethical and moral values which are inducting on them by telling them the biographies of great men or saints or Lord. रामाची गोष्टी सांगितल्या, कृष्णाच्या गोष्टी सांगितल्या, नंतर शिवाजी महाराजांच्या सांगितल्या, संत महाराजांच्या सांगितल्या. Then they will get the inspiration to be like them, and these other people cannot influence them at that time.
Huh.
हे खूप महत्वाचं आहे. I'm taking bal vihar. I took bal for almost 24 years, and that in that what I came to understand is as child they are very raw आणि एकदम कळ्यासारखं असतं ते लहान
Yes.
मुलं, like bud. And in
Hmm.
that if you induct फक्त गोष्टी सांगायचं आणि त्याच्यात त्या ईश्वराचं try to install that lord or that your ideal नाही ideal in their heart.
Ah.
की मला कोणासारखं व्हायचं तर मला शिवाजी महाराजांसारखं व्हायचंय, की मला कोणासारखं व्हायचंय तर मला भगतसिंग सारखं, मला कोणासारखं व्हायचंय गुरुदेवांसारखं व्हायचं, कोणासारखं आहे यांनी स्वामी विवेकानंदासारखं व्हायचं की त्यांनी सगळ्या जगात. लेट दोज थॉट्स the lives of great persons and those stories be told to them. आपण काही
Hmm.
सांगत नाही तर आपण विचार करतो की माझा मुलगा विवेकानंद असं कसं होईल का. आपल्याकडनं पण आपण वी हॅव टू पुट इन एफर्ट्स ॲट दॅट टाइम. ओके नाही
Sir,
I
I
think.
want to add something
बोल ना बाबा.
with reference to what Dhanalakshmi ji said. So, जब मैं US में थी and Bharat was like around 6 years old, the same age as Dhanalakshmi ji's son. So I had taken him to see Guruji and he was very cranky. I mean, not that he's not now, तभी भी था. तो गुरुजी को देख के we were standing there and then गुरुजी का वो सब होने के बाद उन्होंने बुलाया, हाँ ये कशियस करके. तो मैं इसको and he was very hungry भी था, तो he was all the more grumpy and cranky. तो गुरुजी को देख के ही आई डिड नमस्कारम. मैंने भरत को बोला चल तू भी कर नमस्कारम. आई टोल्ड हिम ट्वाइस एंड थ्राइस एंड ही वाज लाइक आई डोंट वांट टू डू करके उसने बोला. तो मैंने गुरुजी को देखा. गुरुजी सेड छोड़ दे. एंड देन इट वाज टाइम फॉर गुरुजी टू हैव हिज लंच. तो गुरुजी खाना खा रहे थे और गुरुजी ने उनके प्लेट से एक कटोरी पायसम भरत को दिया. ही इज लाइक इधर आइए खा करके. एंड गुरुजी फेड हिम एंड ही गेव हिम अ बनाना. तो उसका शांत हो गया था पेट. और फिर गुरुजी ने उसको बोला ठीक है भरत, मम्मी ने क्या बोला था अभी थोड़ी देर पहले? तो ही सेड कि अम्मा ने ना आपको नमस्कारम करने बोला। हाँ, तो अभी यू शुड फॉलो हर, नो, नाउ यू शुड ओबे व्हाट शी इज टोल्ड ना। तो he saw that Guruji had something in hand for him, maybe a chocolate or something. I forgot what he had. So he did namaskaram to Guruji. Guruji hugged him, gave him that chocolate, and he said, "Chalo bhago abhi jaake khelo." And then after he went, Guruji told me, Divya, why did you force him to do namaskaram? मैं बोली गुरुजी नॉर्मली वी डू नमस्कारम, और हम करेंगे तो ही बच्चे करेंगे. He's like, and that is enough. No, you do what you have to do. You should not force the kid to do. तुम्हारा संस्कार दो, उतना काफी है. Sooner or later in life, they will come to what has been taught to them. Abhi, especially in teenage, when kids get all the information from all around the world, don't try to pull them back saying, अरे तुमको मैंने ये नहीं सिखाया, तुमको मैंने वो नहीं सिखाया. Don't do that. You give them the sanskar that has to be given to them at the right age.
हाँ मैं तो सांगतो
अभी
ना.
अभी
Same.
नहीं तो कभी they will remember, because the sanskar given at a very young age are deeply ingrained in your memory and heart. And if they are any kind of sanskars, good or bad, they will come back once the child becomes of a certain age and they start understanding what it is. These sanskar will come out through their words, through their actions, through their behavior, through their character. So you do your work. If you want him to do namaskar, it's a good thing that you did namaskar, but only you doing namaskar is not enough. Your husband has to also do. The people, if you are staying in a joint family, all of them have to do, so that it plays a positive impact on the kid. Only one kid, one person doing, and the rest of them negating it, is going to have a bad effect. So अगर आप कर रहे हो, you have to make sure that at least if others are
Yes.
not doing, they don't have a negative impact on it.
True.
So this is
And
one
that's it.
lesson that has helped me from there. At least अभी तक तो मैं, मतलब जब ऐसे भरत is in this stage now, teen, अचानक से उसका वोल्केनो इरप्ट होता है, सडनली ही विल बी लाइक अम्मा, वो आई मीन मुंह में जो भी आए सब बोल देता है ना. तो आई रिमेम्बर गुरुजी ईच एंड एवरी टाइम घर पे रोज महाभारत होता है मेरा उसके साथ. बट एवरी टाइम दिस थिंग हैपेंस, आई रिमेम्बर गुरुजी टेलिंग की तू शांत रह,
And
you
one
do
more thing.
what you have to be done. You're a mission kid, you do what has to be done the correct way. He will observe. Even now, if he retaliates it, maybe after 5-6 years he will come back to you, because that is a sanskar you have given it to them. There's no need to pull, ये मत करो वो मत करो, करने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है, सबके
And
पास
one more
दिमाग
thing,
है.
then experience. See, one more thing. What's the continuation of Divya what said. See, आपण जेव्हा गोष्ट सांगतो ना कुठल्या कृष्णाची, आपल्याला पण त्याच्यात आनंद मिळायला पाहिजे. When I enjoy telling him a story, no, अरे रामाने असं केलं, कृष्णाने ना लहान मुलं होती, ते सगळे गेले ह्याला नदीवर पोहायला, पोहता पोहता मग आलं ते साप आला, मग सापाने काय केलं, यू स्टार्ट एन्जॉईंग व्हॉट युअर टेलिंग. And then if you are starting enjoying, if you are trying to tell him a story to preach or her to preach, then preaching to children are very clever. But then अरे माझ्या आईला पण हे आवडतं, किती छान, मला पण आवडतं, कृष्णाने कसं गंमत केली, काय केली, किती मजा आली ना, असं जर जेव्हा सांगतो की then those sanskars go deep down in the heart, and then when at the right time Divya said will come out. पण आता see what are the ideas now for the children nowadays. Film stars, TV stars, सेलिब्रिटीज. मला कोणासारखं व्हायचं, तर मला शाहरुख खान सारखं व्हायचं, कशाला माकडासारखं व्हायचंय माहित नाही, पण ते सगळे त्यांना एव्हरीवन याच्यासारखं व्हायचंय. That you have to remember.
So what I could, the takeaway for me would be, I think, have patience. I could see both the sides. I see a good thing also coming up. I see suddenly volcano kind of things coming up. So it's like, do I am doing the best, whatever is best or whatever is right. I'm doing it now. Now the time for me is to just wait and have patience to for
Yes.
him to grow to that age
and
where he
and
understands the
and
logics.
and start installing him, and start indirectly way. No more, as Divya said, don't force him. But गोष्टी सांग,
No,
ये
no.
आपण गोष्टी सांगते, तुला गोष्टी सांगते, तो गोष्टी सांगता, हे दिस इज द स्टोरी टेल हिम of
That
Ramayana,
is.
Mahabharata, and that those stories, which values you are going to give him now, let them be installed in his heart, as they are also important, as well as they are more important than this the film stars. I'll see when I'll tell you one example, and then I'll to take the last. Once what happened, my uncle came from Bombay,
Mm.
and Amitabh Bachchan was going to come in that, what is that hotel's name? Hotel Amir.
Oh.
So I said, I'm going now. Where are you going? He says, म्हटलं अमिताभ बच्चन को देखने को जाने का है. सायकल जाता मी. आणि काय करणार आहे बघून त्याला. मदन, यू माइट बी नोइंग, इट वॉज अपना हे अण्णप्पा काका. ओके, he came and he said, what are you going to do then? And what are you, त्याला आपल्यासारखे हात पाय तोंड दिले, अजून काय दिलंय म्हणून. यस, सेम बॉडी नो वॉट, अजून काय त्यांना काय बघायचं म्हणून. आपल्यासारखं तोंड दिलं, फक्त ते ऍक्टिंग करतात एवढं. त्यांना काय, तू काय, तुझ्या माझ्या त्यांच्यात काय फरक. See, we unnecessarily are going to that this thing of hyping the celebrities or the people so much. But what they do, आपल्यासगळं नाग डोळे दिले, अजून काय दिलेलं आहे. फक्त एक त्यांच्यात एक कला दिलेली आहे. ओके नाही, कलेला मग तुमचं इम्पॉर्टन्स द्या कलेपासून, पण त्याच्याकडनं यू डोंट गेट इन्फॅच्युएटेड बाय देम. अरे बाबा मला त्याच्यावर काय होतं, ते म्हणजे खूप सर्वस्व आहे. लाईक यू सी द टीनेजर्स नाव, झेन्झी गँग, ते सच infatuated by or attracted by trivial things, trivial persons. त्यांचं अटॅच हे इन्स्पिरेशन पण फालतू गोष्टीच आहे. असं आहे. that will only come, as you said, Divya said, but giving them संस्कार directly and indirectly. हळूहळू गोष्टी सांगत जा. त्याला कृष्णाबद्दल प्रेम वाटू दे, रामाबद्दल प्रेम वाटू दे. आणि ते सांगताना तुझं पण बालविहारमध्ये, आय नो आय लर्न अ लॉट फ्रॉम बालविहार रादर दॅन ऑल द लेक्चर्स. की ते मुलांकडे इतके छान शिकायचं. एक मुलांचं एक वैशिष्ट्य काय माहिती का बालविहारचं सगळ्यात महत्वाचं, की त्यांना येडा बनवू शकत नाही आपण. कधीच नाही. आता ह्यांना मी जर आर्टिफिशियल काय सांगितलं असतं तर मला इमिजिएटली आय गेट अ रिॲक्शन. I used to get a reaction, and these kids were in the ballroom. They start playing, pulling each other's hair. हो करायचं समजलं की आपण कुठेतरी चुकतोय. And there were times when they used to remain quiet and used to listen and used to get inspired. मग आपल्याला समजतं की आपण कुठे चुकलोय. आपल्याला आपलं हे समजतं. चालेल.
Sir,
I will add
after
to this.
all this,
सर बोल.
Chana, मैं
हाँ
बोलूं?
दिव्या.
हाँ.
हाँ दिव्या बोल.
So after all these things, there were many people who still asked me, अरे तू तो इतना भगवान भगवान करती है, भरत को कैसे कुछ पता नहीं? I mean, how does he not see shlokas? I said, ठीक है, all those things are done. तो अभी last semester में he had to write a essay on being truthfulness, उसका कुछ तो था about the values ingrained. तो I'm not exaggerating when I'm saying this. तो हम लोगों ने जो भी study group में we had discussed about the values that Arjuna had or the values that Karna had. He had to write about the truth and how you should be with your friends in terms of good and bad. That was something topic, I guess. तो जो पार्वती अम्मा के साथ स्टडी ग्रुप में डिस्कस होता था, जो हम लोग डिस्कस करते थे, नारद भक्ति सूत्र एंड मनाथे श्लोक एंड ऑल दोस थिंग्स, that boy had written all those points in that debate point and he won it.
Wow.
तो मैंने उसको पूछा कि अरे मैंने तेरे को कभी ये बताया नहीं. He's like, हाँ अम्मा, but you're not on a headphone mode. No, it's on a speaker and I'm not deaf, you know, I can very well hear everything.
देखो.
So what if I don't sit and listen and I don't sing or say chant shlokas? I still have my values intact with me. Maybe I'll sit sometime later and I'll sit and learn those things because I want to learn it. But right now I don't feel like learning it. But that doesn't mean that I'm valueless. That's what he told me.
Great, no?
Very good. I mean, he took the rust of what was
What is
supposed
he
to
doing
be.
now? Divya, what is he doing now?
He is doing second year
Engineering.
engineering, sir. Mechanical.
Where?
MIT, man.
MIT.
So it all came back to what Guruji had told me. Don't force anything on him.
I was just telling this. With the privilege that we had as Balvihar in a group, being a group, our children don't have. I and Ravi generally keep talking about that. So the company also, like we were all together and all, we don't have our children having the same because proximity one, attending Balvihar and all one. But somewhere no, giving up in the sense leaving it to God.
Utkarsh was also never exposed to study group or Balviha or anything. What he learned was he learned from me. But a time came when met at Jana's place. We met Chidrupananji at Jana's place. And
Yeah.
I just took him. I just took him there. Chaitalitai was there that time. Gaurang was also there, I think. So we just took him, and he didn't know what also it was. He just casually asked, "Kya kar rahe?" वगैरह सब पूछने पे. He was in 10th grade that time. And he said, I hate social studies, I hate history. And that is when Chidrupananji guided him. The simple things like how hate is a strong word, how you should not get that and build a wall around your mind and everything. It changed his perspective completely. So I feel somewhere, like they say, no, when you are ready, the guru comes to guide you. The same way, Gurudev also sends somebody to help you. So you keep doing your walking your path automatically. We will have people to guide our children because trusting Gurudev, he will send people who will help us at every step
Yes.
in life.
Yeah. Sure. 100%. Right.
And
Well,
we being Gurudev's kid, he will never forsake us, you know. I mean, चाहे कितने भी नालायक हो हम लोग, he will not leave us just like that. He'll be like, I'll मैं तुमको सुधार के रहूंगा. He'll come with that. So I don't think
They,
there's a thing to worry.
yeah, there
Don't
is
worry.
a Dhanalakshmi, your child is very small, that will take time. आता टेन्शन येतं पण ठीक आहे. So your सगळ्यात इझिएस्ट वे सांगू का तुला? ईश्वराकडे प्रार्थना करायची की देवा हा माझा मुलगा आहे, तो व्यवस्थित कल्याण होऊ दे, चांगली बुद्धी देऊ दे त्याच्यात, आणि रोज थोडीशी प्रार्थना त्याच्यावर एक 15-20 मिनिटं सिट टुगेदर, प्रे टुगेदर. एक काहीतरी श्लोक म्हण, भजन म्हण, काहीतरी म्हण, नाही तर काहीतरी लाव, संध्याकाळी शुभम करुती म्हणा. हे असं ना छोटे छोटे संस्कार होत जातात. आम्हाला काही आठवण नव्हतं. आमचे वडील आम्हाला संध्याकाळी घेऊन बसायचे. ऑफिसमधून आले की अर्धा तास 6:20 to 7 or 7 त्यावेळेस त्याच्यावर प्रे टाइम, त्यावेळेला गुरुस्तोत्र, सगळी स्तोत्र, भजन, गीता, अध्याय 15 हे सगळं म्हणायला रोजचा रोज लावायचं. अँड फ्रॉम एज ऑफ 3-4 आम्हाला काय अक्कल नव्हते. आम्हाला कंटाळायचं काय म्हणून खेळता नाही, कुठे आले आता होणार. पण then after a certain while that became a part and parcel of life. And similarly, with your children, try to sit together, and at that time only, when you sit together for half an hour, that prayer time, then 10 minutes will be a prayer time. It will be only a baliyar for your child, and then tell him a story or something, and then after that do arti or something, give prasad. Let that be a ritual every day, and see how the miracles happen. Okay.
Sure, sir. I'll try this out as well. And actually, there's a lot to discuss or share, but in
Yeah, you can
respect of
call
the
me anytime.
time,
Yeah, you can call me
in
anytime.
respect of the time, I would say yes. There are good points, there are plus points, there are strengths that he really has, which are very very peculiar and unique in himself. But then everybody all around the school, the classes, the relatives, everybody.
It's
इतना मस्ती
a
करता है सुनता ही
common
नहीं है
common.
सुनता नहीं है
ठीक है,
he wants to do
क्या
his own
नहीं
that
नहीं ठीक है,
brought
जरा
tears in my eyes so
नहीं
I'm like, so
नहीं
where
it's
am I
okay.
going wrong.
नहीं I use call me later, we will speak.
Sure,
Okay,
sure, sure.
6
Thank you,
seconds.
everybody. Thank you, Archana ji, Divya ji, sir,
Thank
and everybody for all your time and
Dhanalakshmi ji,
capacity.
you have not seen our Bal Vihar. You have not seen us
You
doing masti.
No.
so
I will not
see,
comment on our children at all. Ravi
you
will
have
vouch for it. Ravi, where is Ravi?
no. You need to ask
Yeah.
Tushar sir how we were as
You asked
kids.
Tushar sir how we were as kids. Tushar sir
अरे
will describe.
एक
रवि
दूसरे के
के
बाल
चेहरे से अभी भी
एक दूसरे के
मासूमियत नहीं है रवि के
एक
चेहरे
दूसरे
पे.
को बाल को चिंगम लगाने के, और एक दो कुमार करके था, ये इसकी चोटी उसकी चोटी के बांध के छोड़ देने का.
Yeah,
They
everybody.
yell that time.
I mean,
अरे यार
Tushar sir
रवि
has seen
रवि
us literally grow from the age of 3-4. He has seen us from that age to now. He has seen
Wow.
us in our all stages of life. हम कितने मस्ती शाली थे. How we were like, so we used to get beaten up red, blue, black at home. ऐसे थे हम लोग.
नहीं सुनो ना, एक तुमको होमवर्क देता हूँ दोनों को. कुमार को ग्रुप में लाओ यार. आज ये भी नहीं आ रहा है.
तो कुमार तो बिजी है कैरियोके गाने में.
अरे छोड़ उसको, बोले कि 1 घंटा तू, दिव्या यू टेक द रिस्पांसिबिलिटी.
कुछ भी
I'll give you कैडबरी.
नहीं सर, मेरे को नहीं पसंद है वो. तभी की दिव्या नहीं है मैं अभी. मेरे को नहीं कैडबरी.
अरे यार ऐसा है. देखो क्या मांगता हूँ देता मैं, पानी पूरी देता है.
मैं बोलती हूँ उसको, मेरे को कुछ चाहिए नहीं, मैं उसको बोलती हूँ.
उसको लेके आ ग्रुप में. चलो, I will conclude. It's already late. हाँ, निष्कला take the pledge.
Okay.
ओम सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरि ओम. श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. हरि ओम.
We stand as one family, bound to each other with love and respect. We serve as an army, courageous and disciplined, ever ready to fight against all low tendencies and false values within and without us. We live honestly, the noble life of sacrifice and service, producing more than what we consume and giving more than what we take. We seek the Lord's grace to keep us on the path of virtue, courage, and wisdom. May thy grace and blessings flow through us to the world around us. We believe that the service of our country is the service of the Lord of Lords, and devotion to the people is the devotion to the Supreme Self. We know our responsibilities, give us the ability and courage to fulfill them. Om
ओम
Tat Sat
तत्सत.
Hari Om.
हरि ओम. हरि ओम all.
Ravi,
Uh,
conclude.
Hari